Hello Pokemon players, and welcome back to the Red Riot Games YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be covering my first post-rotation archetype, Welder Mewtwo. This deck had been off the radar for a little while, and then it sort of saw a resurgence with Darkness Ablaze at the Pog Championships, and it's been adapted to post-rotation now, and it's doing very well so far in online events. I'm really liking the list. I made a few tech inclusions that are unique to my list. Overall, I think the deck is just very solid, has good matchups pretty much across the board, or at least like even matchups. Basically, if you don't know, the deck is based around using Mewtwo Mew GX's Perfection ability to copy the attacks of any Pokemon GX or Pokemon EX on your board. It also has the Miraculous Duo GX in attack in a pinch. It does 200, and if you have an extra energy attached to heal all damage from all of your Pokemon. Then we use that to copy a lot of powerful Pokemon. It allows us to use evolution Pokemon like Charizard GX, which for 4 energy, its attack just does a flat 300 damage. Very powerful for, especially against VMAX Pokemon, which have upwards of 300 HP, against things like Eternatus and Inteleon and Centiskorch. If they ever hit you into Horror Energy, they take 20 damage, and then you can finish them off with a Charizard GX and maybe a Zigzagoon Ping. Then in addition to the other evolution Pokemon, we copy powerful attacks like Espeon Deoxys. And the reason we need Mewtwo to do this is just because it gives us the versatility of being able to switch from attack to attack with all of your energy on one Pokemon. Espeon Deoxys GX attack is really good against little Pokemon. Things like Spiritomb, Lost March, and it can be good for just like taking multiple prize turns if you almost knock something out, but not quite. So put 10 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon any way you like, but if it has 3 extra energy attached to it, then you can put 20 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon instead. Then we have Incineroar GX. First attack is pretty decent. It's your best 3 energy attack other than maybe Heatran GX. Just does 130 and discard a special energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. Its GX attack does 10 damage plus 50 more for each damage counter on this Pokemon. So if you take 60 damage from like an Inteleon, then you're doing 310 and puts them only a Zigzagoon Ping away. Even stuff like ADP, if they hit you, you're doing a crazy amount of damage. Centiskorch, if they don't one-shot you, you're doing a crazy amount of damage. Really, this is mostly for things like Inteleon, and then sometimes Eternatus, it forces them to one-shot you, or they will get knocked out in return by Darkness Tornado. Naganadel GX's Venom Shot, nice, quick, easy attack. 4 energy, discard 2 energy from this Pokemon, it does 170 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. So this is just a way to mostly snipe the Dene GX, take your last 2 prizes, or maybe you only have 1 prize left and you can just use it to knock out something like a Jirachi. Or maybe you can use a Zigzagoon Ping on a Crobat to put it down to 170 and use it to finish that off. Charizard and Braixen GX, you may search your deck for up to 3 cards and put them into your hand. So this is just a really strong 180 damage attack. If you only need to do 180 damage that turn, or you really need to set up for a play next turn, you can just go for Brilliant Flare, search for 3 cards, and add them to your hand. Basically, as long as you don't get Marnie to reset stamped, that's going to be something that probably wins you the game on the following turn. Heatran GX, first attack, pretty simple, 130 damage, and GX attack does 50 damage times the number of fire energy attached to this Pokemon. So with 6 energy, you can go ahead and hit for 300. Burning Road allows you to move it into the active and then move any fire energy on board to it. And of course it's fire type, so it hits for weakness into things like Zacian, making it your best like 2 prize attacker in that matchup. Reshiram Charizard GX. Outrage is actually really good. If your opponent hits you really hard, you can go ahead and Outrage. It's also a 2 energy attack, so even if your opponent only hits you for like 120, it's like your best way to knock out something like a Jirachi, just because it's such a low energy cost. Flare Strike for 4, you do 230, but then you can't use Flare Strike again on the next turn, which isn't really a problem when you have so many other attack options in switching cards. So this tends to be your best way to like knock out Zacians, or even like regular V Pokemon before they evolve into VMAXs. Double Blaze, 3 energy, and if it has 3 extra fire, then it does an extra 100 damage, and it goes through all effects. So this will go through something like Decidueye, or Keldeo GX, or I was going to say Zamazenta, but that doesn't work on Mewtwo anyways. It's also, even just for the 3 energy effect, it's your best 3 energy attack. I know I said it was these guys, but this is a GX attack, so you don't really want to use it. But if your opponent has something like an Inteleon V active and no bench Pokemon, this is a very easy way to donk your opponent on the first turn of the game. 2 Volcanion. Volcanion is Flare Starter is like a solo attack, search for 1, or if you're going second, it's your first turn, search for 3. But it's mostly there just for high heat blast, 1 energy attacker or 1 prize attacker into Zacians and Zamazentas, and it goes through Decidueye is the big thing. Goes through Decidueye, so you really, especially with 2, you're not going to have any problems with Decidueye. In Espeon Deoxys Cross Division can go through Decidueye as well. I talked about it a few times. Zigzagoon, you just bench it and put a damage counter on for your opponent's Pokemon. It fixes a lot of math for your attacks. 2 Dedenne GX, discard your hand, draw 6. 1 Crobat, draw until you have 6 cards in your hand. And Eldegoss, put a supporter card from your discard pile into your hand. These are all just Pokemon that let you dig deeper through your deck, find your Welders, find your boss when you need it. Just basically your draw support Pokemon. 4 Cherish Ball, 4 Quick Ball, those are Pokemon search options. We want lots of ways to get all of these GX Pokemon into the discard pile, or sometimes into play. That way Mewtwo GX can start copying those attacks. Pokegear, look at the top 7 cards of your deck and put a supporter card you find there back into your hand. This is important because you want a Welder most turns. Sometimes you want a Marnie, sometimes you want a Boss, but most of the time you just want to be using Welders, so you want to find them as quickly as possible with those Pokegears. Welder, of course, being attached with the 2 Fire Energy cards from your hand to one of your Pokemon, and if you do, draw 3 cards. A very good way to draw through your deck and power up your Mewtwo very quickly. Marnie, each player shuffles their hand, puts it on the bottom of their deck. If either player puts any cards on the bottom of the deck in this way, you draw 5 cards and your opponent draws 4. Marnie is pretty strong. I know I've seen a lot of lists playing Research instead. I found Research often, I didn't want to Research often enough instead of Dedenne or Crobat, so I thought Marnie gave me a little bit more versatility because I could use it as a Disruption card as well. Boss's Orders, just bring up one of your opponent's bench Pokemon, very simple, easy way to take out on the targets that you're looking for, and to take those final prizes. Giant Hearth, you play 3, it's your stadium of choice. You need lots of stadiums in this format, there's a lot of stadiums. Once during each player's turn, the player may discard a card from their hand. If they do, that player searches their deck for up to 2 Fire Energy cards and reveals them. So not very useful for your opponent, but you can use them to grab your 2 energy for Welder. 4 Switch, just switch your Pokemon. You need a lot of mobility in the deck. You don't want to open something like Dedenne and have to manually retreat it, so. 2 Reset Stamp, your opponent shuffles their hand into their deck and draws a card for each of the remaining prize cards. This is pretty important in this deck because your opponent's usually going to knock out something like a Mewtwo, maybe they knock out something like a Dedenne earlier, or they have to go through a Volcanion. Putting them down to a low hand size, maybe 2-shotting them, using Brilliant Flare or something like that, can be really important in some matchups, especially against things like Eternatus. 4 Horror Energy Psychic, so if the Pokemon it's attached to is a Psychic type and is damaged by any of your opponent's attacks, their active Pokemon, the attacking Pokemon, takes 2 damage counters. So just a nice way to fix math, especially for VMAXs in combination with Incineroar GX or Charizard GX, like I was talking about earlier, and with that Zigzagoon. 10 Fire Energy, this is just a pretty solid count for getting them in your hand for Welder early. You do need a lot of fire very quickly. You want 3 fire on this Mewtwo on turn 1, or maybe 2 and a Horror. So you just want to make sure that you can get all of the energy that you need onto your Mewtwo as quickly as possible, and then you don't run out in the late game when your Mewtwo start getting knocked out, or when you start using something like Venom Shot and discarding them yourself. So that's the deck. You have pretty good matchups against ADPZ, against Inteleon. Eternatus is kind of a rough matchup, but Centiskorch is also a pretty good matchup. It's pretty 50-50, I feel like. But yeah, Zacian variants you're very good against, and Inteleon you're very good against, and Decidueye you're very good against. So the deck, other than Eternatus is kind of rough, kind of in the middle. Definitely slightly favoring the Eternatus at least, but everything else is pretty solid, if not favored for the Welder Mewtwo deck. So with that being said, let's jump into some games. Okay, so going into our first game here, opponent is using Water type deck box, so probably Inteleon VMAX. That's the only top tier water type deck I can think of right now, or even like slightly viable water deck. We're going first, so going first, this obviously isn't the strongest hand. Well, that top deck is a little bit, I mean, it helps. I like to get the horror energies down quickly. But we'll have to wait until next turn for this welder, and then just hope to draw like the Den GX or some other way to refresh our hand like Crobat next turn. Or we just find the attackers we need off those 3 cards, but that's not very likely. Let's see what our opponent's got here. Just staring down Lone Inteleon for now. If this Inteleon... Ooh, a greens comes down. If this Inteleon remains active, then I can just hit him with the Flare Strike next turn, hopefully, in an ideal world. We get Switch Reshizard. Crushing Hammer Pokemon Research Lab, so probably just going to use Research Lab this turn. The Crushing Hammer would actually be pretty annoying, because that would mean we'd have to Double Blaze to knock out next turn. Yeah, okay. Head, so we're going to have to Double Blaze to get a knockout here. Research Lab drops, probably going to grab the Ammonite. I mean, the 40 damage actually would be relevant on the Mewtwo, so... So, if this is the Omastar variant, we're gonna have to try to not bench stuff if we can help it, basically. As obvious as that sounds. So I'm just gonna Welder. Okay. Wow, that's actually very strong. So we're just going to go... I'm gonna Quick Ball away the Incineroar GX for the Reshiram and Charizard. That definitely seems like the play. And then we just go Giant Hearth, discard the Reshiram and Charizard, take 2 Fire Energy, and then I will just use Double Blaze GX. And that, honestly, that should put us in a pretty commanding position. Our opponent's gonna need a lot to get back here. If they, I mean, even if they just like bench an Inteleon here, we don't need to Welder next turn, in theory. So we can just dig for the boss's orders next turn. Okay, our opponent hits with the Marnie. Our hand was decent, but like it was just pretty much fire. So, oh, there's the boss's orders. So that's fantastic. The Braixen Charizard is pretty nice too, honestly, but not what we're going to be going for most likely. The Omastar comes down. That's not actually item locking me because I only have 2 Pokemon in play. So I'm just going to go Fire Energy, and Boss Orders up this Inteleon V, and use Flare Strike. And yeah, at this point there's not that much our opponent can do. I mean, he only has 2 cards in hand. We have got another boss in deck, we have an Eldegoss in deck. He's going to hit us with another Marnie. Okay, Welder. I could also... No, Cross Divide would not do enough, unfortunately. Air Balloon coming down. So this Pokemon's probably going to grab another Inteleon V. Realistically, we don't even need to actually... hit the boss this turn. We can just kill 2 fossil Pokemon. So if I can't find the boss off this Pokegear, then I will just go Welder and dig for the Charizard Braixen, knock out the Ammonite, and search for a boss's order with Charizard breaks its attack. So let's Giant Hearth away a Giant Hearth to Fire Energy. And then let's just use Pokegear. So we didn't find the boss, which means we're just gonna go for the Charizard breaks an attack. I don't want to attach to this. This Mewtwo doesn't need a 7th energy on it. There's the Charizard breaks in, so I'm just going to go ahead and Brilliant Flare, knock out this Ammonite, and take Naganadel GX, Boss's Orders, and Giant Hearth, maybe Welder. No, let's take the Giant Hearth so I can get the Nag in the discard. Oh, it probably should have been a Horror Energy. Well, actually, no, the Giant Hearth is fine. I mean, realistically, it just doesn't matter here. If I keep the boss, I will win. Simple as that. Yep, so we got that one. And I'll catch you in the next game. We'll see what we hit. So, we're up against Grass this time. I'm honestly kind of blanking on, like, good Grass-type decks. I don't know if I should be going first or second with Mewtwo, because it is nice to get that extra attachment. That way I can use Flare Blitz GX for 300 on my first attacking turn. But, oh, I also can't use Volcanion if I go first, so I don't know. I think it's probably better to go second. I probably should have opted for second. Ooh, Decidueye. Okay, so we're not like... Decidueye is actually a decent matchup for us. Because I played double Volcanion. So... Of all the decks I could be playing against Decidueye, I don't mind it being Mewtwo, that's for sure. Let's just quick ball away this Incineroar GX and grab the Mewtwo. Oh, we've only got one in deck. And I'll just put the... actually, so... At least 4 fire. Okay, you know what? I'm actually going to attach to Volcanion here. That way I can go for the turn 2 High Heat Blast. We're going for the Rowlet. If only one Rowlet comes down, I might honestly just go for the, what's it called? Cross Division GX. Although I prefer to save it for, the full 6 energy Cross Division GX since that goes through, since Cross Division goes through Decidueye's ability. I'm just using Bird Keeper, so they can Stellar Wish again. I mean, like I said, I feel like I'm in a pretty good spot in this matchup. 2 Volcanion should be enough to work my way through the Decidueye deck, but you never know. Big Charm not really relevant, although it is annoying for, it's relevant into Cross Division, but it's not relevant into Volcanion. I'm just gonna start with the Welder. There's more fire. I could have got punished for that if I didn't hit fire, so maybe I should have welcomed the active? I don't know if that was correct. Would have been correct either, though. But we're just going to try to high heat blast our way through this Decidueye deck. Our hand's pretty solid. We just need a way to get the second Volcanion. We don't want to put it down yet, because that opens it up to bench damage from Decidueye's attack. But we do want a way to find it when we need it. So there comes the candy onto Decidueye. Big Charm means no counter gain, so that's pretty good. Next turn might just be a Marnie turn, if my opponent still doesn't really have a board set up. Quick Ball, probably grabbing another Rowlet. Really thinking about whether or not to play this Quick Ball, I suppose. Okay, so the Quick Ball comes down, getting rid of Scoop Up Net. Taking Rowlet, okay, yeah. So he is going for the Rowlet play. Probably just a pass then, if he was thinking about it that much, because that probably means he was debating going for another Jirachi and Scoop Up Netting or something like that. I don't know how much that would actually help him. Capture Energy onto Rowlet, seems pretty good. Oh, okay. He's got the second Jirachi and second Scoop Up Net anyways. So he's really trying to get as set up as possible before attacking this Volcanion, because he wants to make sure he can knock it out as efficiently as possible. Not let the Volcanion take too many prizes. Another Bird Keeper being played. I wonder what, maybe he's going to the other Jirachi? Oh, going into the, oh, okay, he's gonna go for the Rowlet's attack to hit the Volcanion for 60, I guess. That's interesting. If he knew he was gonna do that, he probably should have put the Capture Energy on the Decidueye, and I would have liked to see the 60 go into Volcanion instead of the Mewtwo. That's just me, though. 50 HP, okay. Just Marnie. Okay, so this is pretty good. We have the Quick Ball for Eldegoss for Welder. We have Cherish Ball for whatever. I think I'm just gonna High Heat Blast. Yeah, I would have liked to see him just put the 60 on the Volcanion, and put the Capture Energy onto the Decidueye, and then he could knock it out with a single Grass Energy next turn. But at this rate, it's just not going to be very possible. Is that a Weakness Guard Energy though? Yeah, so he's got Weakness Guard Energy, so that's very good for him. It means the Decidueye can take 2 hits from the Volcanion, which probably just means that I'm gonna have to use Cross Vision to knock out this one. Or I can, I can actually go for, what's it called, Incineroar GX's Crushing Punch to knock off the Weakness Guard Energy and then go into Volcanion. A lot of options here. Marnie puts me into Switch. like that, but nothing else really. I think I'll play the switch just to move this Volcanion out of harm's way. Let's use the Giant Hearth. Just to thin the deck a little bit, because my hand's pretty dead. And then we'll just go for Crushing Punch. That's the first disruption card for my opponent there. So probably still has more Marnie and may still have more reset stamps that I haven't seen yet. Now I wonder whether they'll go in with the Decidueye here, or if they'll hold out for something like a boss on the Volcanion. Not really sure what their game plan is at this point. If they attack me with Decidueye, I'm just gonna go ahead and Crushing Punch and knock off the Weakness Guard energy. That is, if I don't top deck. Well, actually, I don't even need a top deck because I have the Cherish Ball and I still have Giant Hearth in play, so I can Cherish Ball for the Dene to dig for the Welder and the Giant Hearth for the energy to Welder on, and go for a Cross Division GX to knock out this lone Decidueye. So he definitely needs to get some more Rowlets out right now. Okay, so the Rosa probably gonna grab Rowlet, Grass Energy, and maybe a Rare Candy for next turn. We'll see. See what item piece he's missing. Or I think Rosa can grab any trainer actually. We could see another Rosa. That could be good. But that depends on what is in the hand. Dartrick, Scuba Knight, Grass Energy. Very interesting. How many Rowlet are in the discard pile? Just one. Maybe there's two prized? That's very strange. Scoop Up Net on the Jirachi. To Decidueye. Maybe he just plans to solo my deck with this Decidueye at this point. Oh no, there's the Jirachi coming back down. Okay. I mean, definitely wouldn't be correct to do that, so it makes sense. Okay. If I hit... Sig's gonna put it down to 140, so I'd be a little bit short. But I think I'm gonna go for that anyway. So 3, 6, 7 cards in my opponent's hand. So I will go ahead and just stamp. Might as well before I date change here. I'm just gonna Cherish Ball for the Dene GX. And go ahead and use it. There's Welder, so I'm just going to Giant Hearth away this Charizard GX. I will Welder onto the Mewtwo. Yeah, so there's Concede. He saw the Cross Division GX play coming, knew that that would pretty much be the nail in the coffin in that game. So we'll got one more game with the Mewtwo deck. It runs very smoothly. It's very consistent. I didn't even have to go use my second Volcanion in that game. Cross Division puts in a lot of work in this matchup. I do think that's a very good matchup though. Just only more because I played double Volcanion. But yeah, we'll see what we hit next. Okay, so we're going first. Mulligan. Actually, would have been a pretty, would have been a decent hand, but not a great one. Okay, so we're going first. It's kind of annoying. I chose to go first. I gotta stop doing that by instinct. but I don't mind it, because I mean, it's a 50-50 chance either way. This is interesting here. I think I want to Quick Ball away the Charizard and Breaks In for Mewtwo. And then go Giant Hearth, discarding Boss's Orders. And I'll just attach one energy to Mewtwo, I think. That way I can get the turn 2 Flare Blitz GX onto ADP. This matchup's like pretty good for Welder 2, because I can just one-shot the RC Steel Palkia after they use Altered Creation. And then Zacian without Vitality Band or Zigzagoon cannot one-shot Mewtwo and Mew GX. If people start playing Vitality Band or Zigzagoon, they can just add like a couple of Big Charm into this deck. The second Volcanion could probably get the cut for one of the Big Charms. And then I don't know. You have a couple of flex spots. Cherish Welcome to Dene. Air Balloon. Ooh, just a Day. Let's see what goes. It's not too bad. Lose an Energy Switch and a Boss. The 2 metal are good to have in there anyways. There's the ADP. So Metal Saucer Energy Switch will do the trick for my opponent here. Here we see the Quick Ball. Maybe grabbing Crobat? Yeah, so still digging. That's 2 Boss in the discard pile now, so that could be bad for my opponent for sure. Okay, so Crobat for 5. Just need Metal Saucer Energy Switch. I don't know what their counts are, so depending on how many Energy Switches they play, this could be very likely for my opponent to hit and very unlikely. Okay, so gotta assume that it was not hit based on the promotion of the Crobat. The Crobat promotion is actually pretty good for us, because that means that I can knock it out with Brilliant Flare this turn if I can hit the Welder. Let's go Giant Hearth. Let's Giant Hearth away the Marnie. And I'm just going to really hope I hit this. Marnie's risky, but I didn't really want to get rid of my last Boss's Orders. Ooh, but I didn't hit. So we're just going to go Fire Energy on Volcanion and use Flare Starter onto the active. And then next turn, he's going to go for the Altered Creation GX, and I'm just going to go attach the Mewtwo and Boss Orders up this Zacian to knock out. And then he'll have to go for Ultimate Ray, and hopefully at that point I'll be able to, I'll hit something decent off the prizes and the 2 cards off the top of my deck at that point, and then we'll be rolling. Okay, Metal Saucer, probably correct to, yep, definitely correct to put it on that one. You want to sort of spread out the valuability, so this one has the energy and this one has the air balloon, so don't put all your eggs in one basket kind of thing. The Altered Creation comes down. Definitely want to test the Fire Energy there, and then go Boss's Orders to them with the energy, and just High Heat Blast for knockout. We'll see if we take off the prizes. Quick Ball, Charizard GX. Okay, so that's really good. Okay, so we can just Quick Ball the Charizard GX. We can attach the Horror Energy here, and then Quick Ball the Charizard GX away for probably a Crobat. But on my opponent's side are most likely just going to see them knock out on this Volcanion. Although they could boss up, they could go for the boss in the Mewtwo. That wouldn't be that bad. But they're already down 2 Boss's Orders, so it might run them a little bit short on resources if they were to do that. Now this Volcanion isn't too relevant for the prize trade, honestly, unless they do play a Zigzagoon. If they do play Zigzagoon, we've pretty much lost here, but if they don't, then we've pretty much won. Ooh, Dedenne GX top deck. So let's go 4 energy, quick ball away this Charizard GX. I don't know if I still want to go for Crobat after top decking the Dedenne already. Maybe I just take could take Espeon Deoxys. Maybe I'll just take Heatran just in case I need a 3 energy attack this turn. Welder? No Welder. But we got Eldegoss, but there's no Welder in discard. Oh, this is really bad. This is actually... Yeah, this hand is kind of awful. Yeah. Oh man, this hand is bad. I can... My best play is probably Cherish Ball for this guy, and then go for the Double Blaze on, Eldegoss Double Blaze on, like, this guy, but that feels really bad. Okay, well that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take this. Okay, if I do this, I still have game next turn, basically. Like an Eldegoss, Boss's Orders for this Crobat, and then next turn I can go for the Naganadel GX knockout on the Dedenne. So, situations isn't quite as bad. Oh, I can't Double Blaze, so I only have 2 fire. That's not good. Steaming Stomp. Yeah, this is very bad. I can still technically win next turn though. I'll need a cross division for game next turn, basically. I don't think my Zigzagoon is still in the deck. But yeah, so that's 160. This has 50, so that's 210. So I need 6 energy onto this Mewtwo and Mew, and then I need to get a Zigzagoon on board. So next turn is probably just attach to Mewtwo, Cherish Ball for the Dedenne GX. See what we top deck as well, though. Yeah, if I had realized I couldn't Double Blaze there, I wouldn't have grabbed the Reshiram Charizard GX. I probably would have just grabbed the Espeon Deoxys, or just not grabbed anything, honestly. But as it is, we're just kind of on a clock here. We have to win this turn, basically. Okay, so I'm going to put the Fire Energy here. I'm going to reset state my opponent down to 4. And then I'll just Cherish Ball for the Dedenne GX. I've got all 4 Welder left. So my odds are actually pretty good here, honestly. Let's see what we get. There's the Welder. I think I'm going to play all of these cards out first. I want to Crobat before Welder, because Welder might fill my hand up too much to use Crobat effectively. And if I can hit the Espeon Deoxys here, yeah. Oh, actually, no, I just screwed it up, though. I needed that bench spot. Okay, I think this turn I just go for switch into the Dedenne GX. And I go Giant Hearth away Espeon Deoxys for 2. And then I just Welder them both onto the Mewtwo and Mew. My opponent needs to hit boss onto my Mewtwo and Mew. Okay, so basically, I misplayed that. I messed that turn up in multiple ways. Well, no, because last turn I should have realized I couldn't Double Blaze, and then this turn I forgot that I needed the bench swap for Zigzagoon. So benching that Zard ended up being like really what killed me there. I needed the bench swap for Zigzagoon. I actually don't think I would have hit it. Oh no, I would have hit it. I would have had the game if I had left the bench spot, left that bench spot there open for Zigzagoon. And then if I had it, I should have Weldered before Crobat, but and then just hope to hit the Espeon Deoxys and Giant Earth it away. Yeah, I probably would have won if I had Welder before Crobat as well. I would have needed to find Espeon Deoxys and Zigzagoon off of those 3 cards, so it wouldn't have been it. Ooh, my opponent has the 4th boss's orders. Oh, okay. That was only 3rd. Okay. So yeah. Lost that game. I could have played that one better for sure. I'm not sure if I would have won it if I had played it differently. I definitely would have been... I was definitely in a solid spot that game, and just kind of... I whiffed that one turn, I whiffed the Welder, and then I didn't play correctly into my out of knocking out the Crobat plus the Dene. I needed to save the benchmark for Zigzagoon. I was just thinking I could double blaze there, and then I felt like I needed a Crobat before Welder if I wanted to hit it, but of course by playing the Crobat I didn't leave myself with the last bench space. Okay, so we're back. Got a not the best starter here. I mean, definitely not the best starter. We don't really want to open Reshizard in a lot of matchups. Playing against ADP Zacian, it looks like it could be annoying to have the Zard on board, but it can't be one-shotted unless they're playing like Vitality Bands or Shrine. Well, actually, you can't play Shrine. Vitality Bands or Zigzagoon. Ooh, that's really bad for my opponent. This could just be this could just be a quick game. I'm gonna take Crobat just so I can dig to the maximum extent. Don't take Marnie. There's the Welder. And there's a 3rd fire. So I can just double blaze for game. Guess I didn't mind starting Zard there. Make sure to follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitch, like and subscribe to the Red Riot Games YouTube channel, and check out the Red Riot Games store. Links to everything should be in the description below.